Dude, what in the world is Kirschbaum? Honestly, I've never even heard of Kirschbaum before. But apparently Kirschbaum is a German company that was established in 1987 and was family owned and operated. Kirschbaum in German means cherry tree, hence their logo, which is a cherry. Looking around at their string selections, I could tell that it is very affordable. Their average cost particularly is around $8 to $9. But anyways, with that small introduction at Kirschbaum out of the way, here we are going to be testing the Kirschbaum's Pro Line Evolution. Honestly, strings and marketing. Kirschbaum's Pro Line Evolution is a round copoly that comes in either a 17 gauge or a 16 gauge. The color comes in a really pretty aquatic blue color. As for marketing, it is a softer feeling poly that offers great ball pocketing and easy access to spin. It is pre-stretched, meaning that it will maintain its tension better. And it is said when comparing it to Pro Line 2, this string is 10% lighter, providing more power and spin, whatever that means. Based on the package, its comfort level is an 8 out of 10, playability is 7 out of 10, power is 9 out of 10, durability 9 out of 10. For this particular playtest, I strung my head speed MP at 50 pounds. Let's see how it plays. Let's talk about spin potential. The spin potential of this string was pretty mediocre, but it was expected. Being a round poly with a softer response, nothing really stood out for me for spin. The snapback seemed average, the ball pocketing seemed only to dwell for a little, and these are two important features that are needed for spin potential. And yes, there are other factors that contribute towards the spin potential, such as swing speed, racket tilt, swing trajectory, and etc. I really had to get and hit under the ball with a huge emphasis on my windshield wiper motion and rising with my legs, or even change my grip to full western in order for me to get some spin. For serves, when comparing spin serves to flat serves seemed to take the cake. Not that it was better, but the fact that it was hard to get any sort of spin on my serves. My balls would seemingly fly out of the service line uncontrollably when trying to do kick serves, and my balls would dunk into the net when doing a slice serve due to its low launch angle. Kicks were not kicking and slices were not slicing. This string seemed to gravitate more towards flatter shots with its lower launch angles and redirection of powerful shots from the baseline. This leads us to the next topic. Power. Although the packaging said 9 out of 10 in power, I had a different experience with it. This could be a good thing or a bad thing based on someone's playstyle. Yes, the string is powerful when you swing out and accelerate through the ball, but that is almost a given with anything in tennis. When I review strings for power, I evaluate how the strings perform when I am on defense. How well am I able to redirect and control the ball? How fast does the ball go? How far does the ball go? And how much free power do I get, or do I have to work for the power? This is important when playing against players who like to hit hard, players who get you off your timing and rhythm, and players who are generally a little bit better than you. For me, this string felt like I really had to swing out to the ball and commit my swing. Any chance that I had to try and control the pace of the ball would just seemingly die on my string bed and either land really short for my opponent to finish the point or sink it into the net. Any chance that I had to try and control the pace of the ball would just seemingly die on my string bed and either land really short for my opponent to finish the point or sink it into the net. It felt like in order to control the pace of the ball, I had to really commit my swing and hit an equal or greater amount of pace than given. So big hitters rejoice with this string. This string is a go big or go home kind of power. When actually saying fuck it, the strings performed exceptionally well. Definitely felt the energy return was greater than the amount given. When volleying, it was great for those touch shots since it kind of just died on my strings. And again, when putting your force against the force of the ball, you can get a really good punch out of it. For ball pocketing, as I previously mentioned before, it had felt like it had very little dwell time on the actual string bed. The ball was rather quick to leave my racket, meaning that the string is on the stiffer side. It does have a softer response, but isn't as soft as Hyper G Soft. It is stiff, but not too stiff. If I were to compare this string to another, it would probably be Head Hawk Touch or Toraline Snapper, but with less topspin potential. It might have the snapback, but it is definitely hindered through its dwell time. Stiffer strings tend to yield more power to actually crushing the ball instead of power production unless you put more power into it. Like previously stated, while on defense, the ball was a bit hard to control, so I had to confidently swing out. Stiffer strings also has the connotation of being less comfortable, but this one is more comfortable than stiffer strings due to its softer response. And with that primes us to our next topic. Next up, comfort. For me, I initially thought it was going to be soft when warming up while playing mini tennis, but yet again, I got debated with a softer response. This string is comfortable, but only when you hit the center strings. On those off-centered shots, it will physically scream at you that you are not hitting center strings through its vibrations. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I guess for those traditional poly players who love the feel, this is great. But for the players who have sensitive elbows, be aware. I tend to have a sensitive arm nowadays, and I still felt a lot of the vibrations from the strings, even when I'm playing with a fairly muted racket, such as the 2024 Speed MP. At the beginning of the playtest, it was a bit stiff for me. I strung my racket at 50 pounds, which is around my normal tension. I think it is because I did a 10% uptake when starting and ending my mains and crosses. And the strings itself held its tension extremely well, which leads us to the next topic. The tension maintenance of the string was impeccable. Just as previously stated, it is a string that can hold its tension. Due to it being a round string, there is less sawing of the crosses and mains. Being a pre-stretched string also helps with the conservation of the tension. Everything about this string was a plus in its tension maintenance. For reference, I didn't feel a drop in tension until maybe around hour 4. To be honest though, I was hoping the tension would drop even sooner, because I was not having a good time during this playtest. The 10% uptake to compensate for the initial tension loss was a bit too much. I would recommend it at least 5% at least. It was around hour 4 where I finally started to feel the strings soften up, and it felt pretty good, to be honest. For durability, it was expected. The strings held up fairly well. I noticed a decent amount of notching around hour 4. In conjunction with the tension maintenance, I would say that tension maintenance and durability ratio was fairly even, meaning that the tension maintenance dropped at an even rate with the durability. But when comparing the durability with the spin potential, the notching definitely hindered the spin potential for sure. In conclusion, Kirshbaum Pro Line Evolution is a high quality string. It definitely has its demographics, but I'm not one of them. There is almost nothing free about this string. You have to work hard for your own balls to spin. You have to work hard to match or exceed the force of the incoming balls. Comfort was great when hitting center strings, but it has great feel to it. The tension maintenance of the string is where it's at though. It held its initial tension way longer than expected. The durability of this string was on par with the tension maintenance, but would later hinder the spin potential of what little free spin it gives you. If I were to say one thing about this string, it is commitment. So if you have commitment issues, maybe look somewhere else. A few things that I would highly recommend is hybriding this string in the crosses. With what? I don't know. That is completely up to you. but just know that this string held its tension pretty well. And with that, that concludes our string review. For 850, would you try this string? Tell me if you have, or comment down below if you had felt differently about this string. But other than that, please like, comment, and subscribe for more Tennis Bros content, for more vlogs, matches, reviews, and lessons. I will catch you on the next video.